Most people don't have much experience with fuck buddy relationships, so in this video, I'm going to share with you 8 mistakes of fuck buddy relationships for you to avoid, male or female. Coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 fuck buddy relationship don'ts, mistakes, things that you need to avoid if you want to conduct yourself in a successful fuck buddy relationship. And it's for the men and women. And also, I want to let you know that I do have a short playlist of fuck buddy videos. I had a little bit more information, so I have videos about like how to get a fuck buddy relationship, how to keep them, rules. So check out the other videos. They've got some good information, stuff that I needed to kind of put out there. So if people wanted to know about fuck buddy relationships, that they had enough information that they probably won't be getting from friends or family. All right. So I'm going to share that with you, and we're going to get to our 8 mistakes in a second. But first, if you're not fully satisfied with your current dating or your online dating experience, I invite you to join me in one of my online academies. We send out free weekly videos designed to help you level up your dating game. Sign up is super easy, takes seconds, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description or the card for this video. So now let's get into it. 8 fuck buddy relationship don'ts, mistakes, things to avoid. Number 1, assuming the relationship has changed. Don't assume a fuck buddy relationship has changed, and by changed, we're basically talking about elevated, thinking that it's become more than a fuck buddy relationship. So don't think that it's become friendship or a romantic relationship or a budding romantic relationship. You need to just keep your focus on this is a fuck buddy relationship. All right. Don't assume it's become anything more. If you do want to find out if it's become something more, that only comes about through a conversation and an agreement upon what you two believe the direction of this relationship is headed and what you want it to be. Otherwise, it's a fuck buddy relationship. Treat it as such and believe it as such. Number 2, the next mistake that you might make in a fuck buddy relationship is acting entitled. Look, a fuck buddy relationship, you are not the world's most important person. You're not a boyfriend, you're not a girlfriend, you're not even really a strong friend. Certainly in a fuck buddy relationship, it's really easy for any sort of level of friendship to develop. So a certain level of friendship is there. However, that's not the basis of the relationship. The basis of the relationship is sexual. So when it's sexual, you need to understand that this is something where you probably should take it for granted and act like you never want to act as if sex is owed to you. I mean, you really don't have that much invested in this person. You're not friends, you're not romantic, so you don't have that hook in somebody. So you are not allowed to act entitled regarding somebody's time, schedule, and availability. You don't get to really get pissed off when they're not available when you would want them to be. Now, certainly, if over time there's a pattern of like your just schedule's not aligning, then sure, that's going to be a pattern for like going your separate ways. But what you don't want to do is have a fuck buddy relationship and then start to feel like someone owes you, like, hey, I reached out and like you're not fucking available, you don't have time for me, not this. Don't act entitled regarding somebody's time, availability, or schedule, and certainly not with their body. All right, don't act entitled. I mean, the truth is, in a fuck buddy relationship, in most of them, you're not the only one that they're going to be having sex with. All right. Probably not for you, probably not for them. And even if you are in that dynamic at certain points, maybe even at the start or in the middle, at any point in the relationship, it's not something that you should be expecting that someone else is just giving their body to you. All right. So you don't get to be entitled that someone's body belongs to you on your schedule. Just don't feel and act entitled. Big mistake. That'll turn people off and be like, fuck you. Problem solved. I'm done dealing with your shit. You just want to don't put out that entitled shit. All right, number 3, don't lose respect. That's a big mistake, and it's really easy because in a sexual relationship, if it's based on sex and not so much on friendship, it could be easier for you to say or do the wrong things to show less respect to somebody, but you need to understand somebody is in line with you. They're giving you the sexual relationship that you just wanted. You didn't want more. So you should appreciate them more and show them respect because as as, as anyone, man or woman in a fuck buddy relationship, if you want it to continue, if you want a fuck buddy relationship, I always put the onus on you because you have to be the leader, male or female, because you're watching this video, you're listening to me, and you're going to get the advice that I'm telling you that You can't control what other people say, do, or feel, but you can do that for yourself. So what you need to project to someone else is that you feel respect for them, even though, you just have mostly a sexual relationship, even though you mostly just see them just a little bit of the time in a week or every month, whatever. You need to let them know that even with that limited experience or time together, you still have respect for them. That goes a long way, and that allows them to respect themselves. Imagine how hard it is for somebody to feel respect for themselves in a fuck buddy relationship if you don't respect them. So you have to set it off first. That's why I'm saying the onus is on you, male or female, to show that respect. Now, the next thing also that leads us into our next one. Number four mistake is losing appreciation. Understand if somebody's gonna pick you for a fuck buddy relationship. It doesn't mean that you're the only one, but it does mean that they trust you with something very intimate and they are participating in a very unique and special sort of relationship that is mostly sexual with you. They chose you. All you need to do is remember to show some appreciation. Show it, have a little bit of warm conversation. Doesn't mean you have to focus on it, but there are small things that you can do to just continue to show your appreciation. Listening once in a while. Just it's gonna happen. You have to have some conversations. You're gonna have to show a side of you that cares about some things, about cares about them just a little bit. But there are little ways that you can show your appreciation. Who knows? You might show up with McFlurry from McDonald's because you wanted one and you're just being thoughtful and brought them one too because you were walking over. You're gonna have one with you. Who knows? In all sorts of ways, you can be showing your appreciation. And if you're in a fuck buddy relationship, it's not that hard. They're not asking for your appreciation through dates, through all these romantic endeavors, or even your friendship. So the amount of appreciation you need to show is like this. It doesn't cost much. It doesn't cost much time, investment, effort, energy. It's like this. So don't be afraid to show some appreciation, okay? The next mistake that people make in a fuck buddy relationship is that they change their message. So in a fuck buddy relationship, what's the original message? I just want a fuck buddy. I don't want a friendship. I don't want a romantic relationship. I don't have time for all that. I don't have the desire for all that. Don't change your message. All right. You can't change your message because it makes it easier for people when you're consistent. So if you're wishy-washy on your message, if even after say some great sex, you kind of open up about like, wow, we really do have a great connection. Maybe we should see each other a little bit more. Even if you have those feelings, you might know that they're fleeting feelings, like you said it after sex, or you like somebody, but you only really feel like you should hang out with them more, maybe explore what more could be, like 5% of the time. If you feel like that, don't share that. Be consistent with your message. Keep that to yourself because what it does is it confuses someone else. It confuses someone else because they might not know that that thought that you just expressed is fleeting or it only applies 5% of the time. They don't know that. So, consistency in your message is important, which brings us to number six. Consistency, or don't make the mistake of changing your behavior. You need to be consistent there as well. So, as far as changing your behavior, what's a fuck buddy relationship about? Well, it's about having sex. So it needs to remain focused on having sexual activities as the basis for the relationship. So even at the beginning, I do give the advice that, well, like, yeah, in most cases, you're probably going to have to meet somebody, hang out with them in a small sort of activity and setting, like a first meet, so that they feel safe and comfortable with you. However, the general sort of activities for you in this fuck buddy relationship are just sexual. So you don't want to confuse that with, oh yeah, you hungry? Let's go get some lunch. Let's go get some dinner. Let's go get some drinks. Don't mix in dating and romantic activities. Okay. Not unless you want to escalate the relationship in that direction. If you don't confuse somebody. All right. Keep it sexual and just leave it at that. Keep it at lower investment. That's fine because the both of you agreed at that. So you don't need to do extra. You've already got what you want. You've already got what they want. But you don't need to confuse people with the romantic or extra friendship sort of type of activities and investment. All right. The next mistake that people have is that they fear losing. And I need you to understand, you can't fear losing a fuck buddy relationship because it's going to be lost anyway. All right, a fuck buddy relationship, when you think about it, it's if we classified it, we would just say this is pretty much under the category of temporary relationships. Because if you wanted a long-term committed relationship, you would be dating or at least going more towards the friendship route. But instead, what you wanted was a fuck buddy relationship. What you entered was a fuck buddy relationship. So you need to understand that what you wanted was something that was temporary. And I like the example of saying like you're just at a season in your life where you wanted a fuck buddy relationship, and at other times you might want a more romantic or friendship or whatever. I get that, but with a fuck buddy relationship, you can't fear losing it because it's going to be lost eventually. It will have an end, and that's okay. Because people move on. People have different schedules, people have different desires, people go to different seasons in their life. And if you have that mindset or that belief that, geez, I need to do everything right, I can't lose this fuck buddy, that's when you lose them. And the strange thing is, when you don't focus on trying to keep somebody, you keep them longer, you keep a better dynamic for the fuck buddy relationship, whether just keeping it longer, extending it, or having a healthier dynamic to that fuck buddy relationship. When you don't try and hold on to it, when you don't squeeze it, it flourishes better. And when you do squeeze that fuck buddy relationship, that's when you get someone who would think like me or very just like anyone would, where if you put pressure on them, you're like, hold on, we're just fucking, and you'd want to put pressure on me regarding my time, my schedule, what I'm doing with my life, how much time I'm spending with you, my accountability to you. I should be calling and texting you. No, 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 no. You just want to understand that you got to be more chill about fuck buddy relationships. They come and they go, and that's okay. All right. Number 8, our last mistake that you need to avoid is boyfriend and not goyle, boyfriend and girlfriend behavior. Okay, what do I mean by this? I mean, you're gonna develop a fuck buddy relationship and a level of friendship there, but it's important that you have your boundaries that don't eclipse into boyfriend or girlfriend territory. Okay, so there are times when it's not your problem. It's not your problem. Someone has emotional issues. They want to call or text you because they're having a bad day. It's not your fucking problem. You don't have to respond to that text, or if you do, um, you can respond way later or even a day later. It's not your job to pick up the phone and listen to 30 minutes of crying or whatever, like my world's falling apart. It's not your job. They have best friends for that. They have family members for that. They have just better friends than you for that. So you don't want to enter boyfriend and girlfriend territory by behaving like one. So, like if someone is drunk and they need a ride, that's not going to be you. If someone has money issues, that's not your problem. You're a fuck buddy. And if someone needs emotional support, well, you might offer them this much, but as far as after that, you're like, yeah, but I gotta go. I've got work to do. I hope it all works out. And you don't do that. All right. You're not the crying shoulder. You don't do that. You don't behave at all as if you're boyfriend and girlfriend. And it's not, I mean, like, I know it sounds somewhat harsh, but when you balance that with realizing, like, yeah, you're just a fuck buddy, and they actually have people that are closer to them that they should be leaning on, not you. Like they should have other family members, other friends, other best friends that they should go to when they need emotional support, financial support, whatever shit is going on. I lost my car keys. I can't get home. Blah blah blah. Whatever. It's not your problem. Take an Uber home. Take a Lyft home. It's not your problem. So there you have it. I've given you 8 fuck buddy relationship mistakes that people make. And if you want to have a fuck buddy relationship, that's on you. Go for it. I don't care. Do you live your own life? But here, I've given you and I've spoken to 8 mistakes that people typically make. So if you want to have a fuck buddy relationship, all the best to you. Educate yourself, make smarter decisions, and do you. It's a season in your life, or if this is something that you want temporarily or for a little bit longer, whatever. Go for it. I hope I've given you some things to consider. Avoid these mistakes. And if you have other comments about what I'm saying or something that you'd like to add to this list, by all means, throw them down in the comments. I like to read them, and other people for sure can benefit from your input. So you all take care until the next video. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content from this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And male or female, if you're not satisfied with your dating or online dating experience, I invite you to join one or both of our free academies. We have Get Game Group Academy and Get Game Group Online Dating Academy, both of which send out free weekly videos designed to help you up your game.